Thank y'all for joining. We're back at this another Sunday night live session. Give y'all guys a couple of trade setups that I've gone through and I like for the week coming up. First one we're going to start off with is Spotify. What I have up right now is a monthly chart. So if you look back here, March of this year is when this downtrend started. Had a nice bounce right here off the 21-month moving average. The anchor VWAP from when this downtrend started is pretty much where the top of this monthly candle is right now, watching for a breakout here on Spotify above this 268 level. So like I've got over here written in the notes, and I will post these charts after we get done. Above 270, I do like Spotify to the long side. Drop down here on the weekly time frame. Same thing, you've got 10-week moving average curling up. MACD down here is pinching, curling up. Like I said, if we can get above 268.29, the 270 mark, we'll get this movement, get this to break above this trend line. And we break above 270. I'm looking at a price target right here at the 300 mark. So that is a pretty significant move. So that's why in the trade ideas I've got looking at the go back to the monthly time frame, the July 16th 300 call. However, if we see a failed breakout or attempt here below this 352 level, which has been really strong support on the weekly level, I'm short Spotify at that mark and looking to take profit at the 235 level. And I do think I have the notes on that is a July 16th 230 put on that. And that is only if it falls below that 252 level. Let me update that real quick on this chart. Oh, I'm looking at it. I don't know. I have 300 and 3,052. And even when we drop down to the daily chart here for Spotify, that's got a nice move up, and it's sitting right here. Like I say, closed Friday, just underneath the swing high anchored VWAP, and right here where you got a pretty big volume shelf on the daily. So looking for a launch pad off of this level. So 270 for me is my mark. I know that it's cleared the anchored VWAP here. That gives it a nice little cushion, so you know that the move is strong at that point. Next up on the list is Microsoft. Microsoft has been extremely strong as of late since they reported earnings. As you can see here on the monthly, it's just been one move after another. Had a big move in April, consolidated last month, and then came back strong this month in June. So he dropped down here to the weekly chart on Microsoft. And so Microsoft's were above the 10, 21, and 50-week moving average, above the swing high anchored VWAP here. Microsoft current high is 267.85. So I'm looking for continuation above 268 on Microsoft. I did a fib extension looking at the 274 level basically as the first price target, then above that 277.35. But that's what I'm looking at from Microsoft. It's been really strong of late, and just hoping that it can continue that trend up. The monthly chart's bullish, daily chart, weekly chart is bullish. We're getting a little consolidation the past 3 days on the daily, but it is holding this 264.45 area, which has been a nice daily support. So I'm just looking for that upward momentum to get above 268 and let that run continue for Microsoft. And go back to the weekly and the notes that I have. above that 268 area, looking at the July 16th 275 call, below 262 short, looking at the July 2nd 260 put. So the weekly put, if it falls below the 260 area. Another one that I've been watching since last week is Visa. It had a good close Friday. It made a new high, and Visa, this is just the weekly chart. If I zoom zoom out here, you can see that we just got one giant ascending trying support right here, some from the March 2020 low, and it's held that support line all the way up. And right now, Visa's current all-time high is 238.50. So I'm looking for Visa to cross above 239, initial price target, the 243 area, and next is 245, and looking at 249.50. And I did the anchored VWAP from the previous swing high. So this is a previous high before it started this downward move. And last week it had a nice pullback and bounce off that anchored VWAP low from the previous swing high. So Visa is one to watch above 238.50. Looking at the July 16th 245 call. If it falls below 235, looking at the July 2nd 232 and a half put. But Visa, it's looking nice above all the moving averages on the weekly, which shows that it's got good, strong, bullish momentum going forward. Next up, Baba. This one had an insane close the last 15 minutes of trading Friday, where it shot up like $5 or $6 on that last 15-minute candle. If you look here, Baba has been in a downtrend since October of 2020. It's just been beaten down. If you look here on the monthly, it is poking its head above this downtrend line from the swing high. I have anchored VWAP from the March 2020 high, which I will show you on the lower time frames. And right now, that's where the monthly candle is just above that. So I'm watching uh, Baba to continue to make that move above the 230.25 area. So I was talking about the anchor VWAP from the March 20. So here's one from actually it's week of April 12th. So that was the last high point before this downtrend started. So that's where I anchored the additional anchored VWAP. And that's where this candle last week closed at. So you get follow through the 230.25 level on Baba. I am long Baba. Was looking at the July 16th 250 call above 230.25 and below 225 short, looking at the July 2nd 220 put. But this one definitely you got that monthly downtrend break, weekly right here, breakout. So all things are pointing pretty good for Baba. Hopefully we can get some nice follow through tomorrow and the rest of this week. So this trade can execute and make everybody some money. This is definitely one to keep on watch. And so anchor VWAP from the highest high is right in line with the around the 248 level. So that July 16th 250, you have plenty of room to make it. You just know that if you held till expiration on that 248 mark would where I'd look to exit that trade. Another one, Etsy. I really like Etsy. What I really like about it is on the monthly time frame, you have a nice monthly bull flag right here in the making. So if we can get above, oh, there we go. Get above 188. That triggers to get long on that for me. Um, Right around the 191.30 area is the swing high anchored VWAP, but that's a $3 move. You can use that as your first price target to take some off the table. But through that, I'm looking at the 200 level first, and then the 213.50 level after that as potential price targets. But above that 188, looking long at the July 9th 200 call. If it fails and breaks down below 180, looking at the July 2nd 175 put. But even here on the weekly chart, you're looking to break this downtrend from the swing high, but that monthly bull flag is what really has me excited about Etsy going forward. Even when you got the MACD starting to curl up here on the weekly, and drop down to the daily time frame. Moved above, you got the 10-day crossing the 21-day. It's above the 50-day moving average right here. So strong bullish momentum right now showing for Etsy. So just hoping to get in and ride this wave back to that 214 level, 215, to be honest. Next one up, in phase energy. They've had a breakout here on the monthly. This monthly downtrend started back in February. And you see here we've had a nice breakthrough this month above this the previous swing high that kept this downtrend in play. It's pushed through that. And so want to see follow through the 182 level, which will be the high for the month right now. We drop down to the weekly, it is just one big giant wedge that it has been in for in phase, which is in ENPH. But through the 182 level, long on it, looking at the July 16th 200 call. If it fails below this 171 level right here, looking at the July 16th 160 put. But in the notes, it says monthly downtrend breakout, weekly wedge breakout with follow through, because it broke out previous week, it held last week, and it pulled back and it bounced off the swing high anchored VWAP on the weekly. And you have the 10-week moving average, which I use crossing above the 21-week moving average. So in phase is another nice bullish setup. MACD also crossing to the bullish side here on the weekly time. Next up is Nike. And this one really exploded last week after they reported their earnings. And so what I'm watching here, there's two things in play with Nike. Either watching to see if momentum stays in place and can continue to push it up. So above 155, I'm long on Nike, like the July 16th 160 call. But also know that if momentum fades, there is that gap up that it made from close of Thursday through Friday. So there's somewhat of a gap to fill. So if the price falls below 150, I'm looking at the July 2nd 148 put. And if we drop down to the daily chart here, you can see from this 150 level, you got a nice fall back down to the Thursday close, which was 120 or 135, excuse me. So one of two things will play out. Either the momentum will keep going and drive it up higher, or there will be a sell-off and that gap needs to be filled. So Nike can be a huge winner, potentially either on the call side or put side. But that's definitely one everyone should keep their eye on. Another one, Beyond Meat. Very interesting setup, but found this one. So monthly chart, monthly candle right now is above the 10-month moving average and anchor VWAP. Weekly chart, you got the swing high downtrend line. But if you look here at the last 3 weeks, your support here, so you can tie that in and make this a bull flag here. on the weekly chart. So this is one of the reasons why I like Beyond Meat weekly here is you got the 10-week crossing the 21-week and 50-week moving average. And anchored VWAP from the swing high is where the candle closed above last week on the weekly. So looking for a break of 152.50, 153 for Beyond Meat to go long on it. And if it can break above this level, I do like the weekly 160 call on that one. Because I do see it making around at least to the 160 level. If it is moving pretty good and it crosses this 158 level, we'll reevaluate, reassess, taking a further out position, maybe expiring on July 16th. But I want to see how price and everything reacts first with Beyond Meat before getting extremely long on it, because I know that Beyond Meat can make a nice little pop, and then the next thing you know, it sells off. But on the weekly here, the MACD has opened up and it's starting to get really bullish on that one. And before I get to the next one, I know y'all see me talking a lot about monthly time frames. We are getting right. We're right here at the end of the month, so I'm looking at how the monthly charts lining up, how the weekly charts lining up, how the daily charts lining up. So I want to see how the monthly is closing, and I'm working my way down. Starbucks here is another one that with a nice push here, we can have a nice close to the month if we can get above 113.50. What I do like about Starbucks is the weekly chart here is a nice symmetrical triangle, and it's been beaten down since the middle of April. It's just been on a constant slide down. But we did have a nice close here above the 10-week moving average. It found support the previous week, and last week maintain that support on the 21-week moving average and this lower trend line. So if we get above 113.50 here, which would be above the swing high anchor VWAP on the weekly, we get Starbucks back into what I would consider an active bullish sequence, and looking to see if it can make a move back up to the 119 area, which is its current all-time high. And that's here above 113.50. I do like it long. I like the July 16th 115 call on that one. That's not too far to the money. With a nice move, that could probably put you running 3-4 points into the money if trading conditions allow it. And even dropping down here on the daily chart, you can see close just above the anchor VWAP on the daily. It had a failed breakout Thursday, but it did break out Friday. So watching for continuation tomorrow, beginning of this week. Next up is TTD, which has been very active since they have split the stock, and it's down to in a price range that people can trade it, and it's gotten a lot of volume. I like this monthly pennant here, so or wedge. So watching for a breakout and move above the 79 level, which would break that monthly wedge. Drop down to the weekly time frame. Just trying to break this downtrend that was started back in February of this year. Above weekly chart is above the swing high anchor VWAP. This is the one that I mentioned in chat that had the golden cross. So had the 10-week fall below the 50-week, but then it crossed back above last week. So it escaped the potential death cross and came back with a nice golden cross with the 10-week pushing back up. So I do like TTD to the long side above above 79, like the July 9th 90 call for this one. Next up, LB Limited Brands. So this one here, with everything reopening, summertime coming around, uh, I know there's a lot of women that have missed their shopping and everything else. So they've been on a rise and just watching this one to make continued movement as things really get back open all across the US and world. You've got a weekly wedge here, which it broke through last week with nice momentum, made a new all-time high, the 73. No, it didn't make a new all-time high, but it did make a high at 73.25. So watching for that one to push through that 73.25 level, looking for the July 16th 75 call or go all the way to the August 20th 80 call, and looking at above that a price target first at 76, next level 78, and 80.50 beyond that. But it's nice and bullish on the weekly, above the 10-week, above the 21-week, above the 50-week moving average. MACD is flat, and it has just been in a constant accumulation phase down here on the weekly side of things. Another one that had some success with on a 0 day a few weeks ago is eBay, which is making new all-time highs as it continues to move. And we will hop out to the monthly chart here, which had a nice symmetrical triangle breakout. Current high is at 68.19. And watching eBay, I think it's the above that level, like the July 16th 70 call, which would be in line with this projected fib extension, which is the 70.28, and then 71.60 area above that for price targets. And this one here, I anchored the VWAP on this one, which I'll consider to be the previous swing high, which is back in February. And that anchor VWAP lines up right here, pretty much in line with the 21-week moving average. So we crossed above last week, broke out, retested, held that 10-week moving average support. So watching for eBay to follow through to the 68.20 level. Next up, Marvell. This one here's another one that is making new all-time highs. Go here to the monthly. Another one with a monthly bull flag breakout. Nice, strong month here. Post earnings, nice move up above the 10-month moving average. So current high is 56.54. Drop down to the weekly chart here. Through that level, do like the July 9th 58 call or the July 16th 60 call. Both give you some time. So above this, your first price target, this fib extension is the 60 level. Next one is the 62.40 price level, and then looking at 66 above that if it just keeps running as is. But I do like that nice bull flag breakout on the monthly, and you do have this weekly pennant breakout that it's broken out and it's held this move for 2 solid weeks, 2 strong weeks after that. And the MACD here on the weekly is just now starting to open up. So that is definitely one to keep an eye on. One that, last but not least, is Oxy. This one here has just been on a nice strong push as of late. And what I do like about Oxy here, if we can get above this 33 level, which it touched it Friday. Now just waiting and watching to see if we can get follow through the $33 level. Hold above that. Because next price target really is looking at the $35 level and then $40 level for Oxy. So drop down to the weekly chart from the swing high. Well, from this October 2018, that's where I anchored this VWAP, which was the last point that it was up before it started this dip here, this downtrend. So from that October 2018 mark, It is above that anchored VWAP. Finally got above got above the 10-week moving average here. Had 2 weeks of consolidation, tested that 10-week moving average last week and launched back off of it. So now it's shown that hey, this is a strong move. It's held it, so it's ready to make another push higher. And you start to see the MACD right here is starting to curl bullish on Oxy. So those are all the setups that I have for this week. There were more, but these are the ones that like I went through and said, hey, these are A+ in my book. These are ones that I'm really gonna focus on and watch and see. I've got alerts set for everything, so may not be able to catch everything, but we'll be able to catch the majority of it. Or there's something that someone wants to focus on. There's enough in here for everybody to capitalize on this week, make some good money. Pretty much, we just got to sit back, be patient, let the trades come to us. The setups are there. We just have to wait for the market conditions, wait for it to get there, and then execute. But if there's any questions, feel free to ask. If there's any chart that you want me to take a look at, I can go ahead and take a look at that real quick as well before we wrap this up. Anything?
What do you think about Fubo
Let's look at it.
and Space?
We'll look at both of them. All right, I have to look at the daily because Fubo doesn't have a on that one. Just wipe all that. Yeah. So Fubo from that high back in December of last year, drew line from there. Kind of cracked it. Needs to get back above 35 to go long on that one. So looking at 35 and then right here, this level here at 40 would be my first price target on that one. And the top of this candle here, which would be 43. Let's see here if we anchor the VWAP from this candle here, which was the last high point before this leg down. So you're well above that. Let's go from this swing low, anchor the VWAP from this, which started this move up. So yeah, it's definitely in play because you could even come down here and say that you had a breakout on the daily right here.
And it's a meme stock, so should have pretty high volume.
Definitely. Anyway, you can see you had a bull flag breakout here. You've had consolidation post that breakout here, which will give you a nice, looks like bull pennant with another breakout. So above 35, look for that. First price target would be 40. And it's nice and strong because you are above the 10, 21, and 50-day moving averages. Which other one did you say? Space. I think is at their all-time high right there, 63. So that's the level 63 looking at. So we can get above at 57.29. You could definitely make a run for that 63 level as if the momentum and everything continues with it. But if there's no follow through, if it gets below 46, then you can short that, take a put, and have your initial price target right here at 41, 41.50. So there's two different ways it can go. So you're either looking at a break above 57.30 or falling below 46, which would be that low from that candle on Friday, which I wouldn't even think about shorting it until it broke that low of day from Friday. Any others? If there aren't any others, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up for the evening. I do appreciate everyone that showed up, took time out of their day to take a listen. I will be posting all these up in the watch list room once we are done so that you can have the charts and the notes available for you. And I will talk to everyone in the morning, get ready for live trading, get ready for a good day. Hopefully, we'll have an actual money making Monday on Monday. So, looking forward to that. Just everybody have a good rest of the evening, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.